Welcome to Trading Lounge and the Forex report for the Asian pairs, and starting with the US dollar index here on a daily chart. We've got wave 3 here, an A and a B and a C wave here for wave 4. So what we're looking for now is we're looking from wave 4, we're looking for 5 waves up for intermediate wave 5, and we're looking for 5 waves, so 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and 5, and this is what we're looking for in the S&P 500 too, by the by, and the other indices around the world as well. So yeah, all quite interesting. So obviously the US dollar index is going to see a lot of the Asian pairs move down, the Aussie dollar, the New Zealand dollar against the US, and so on and so on, and of course some in reverse as well. So from wave 4 here, we've got wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, and wave 5. And in wave 3 here, minor wave 3 here, we've got 5 waves of 1 and 2, and 3 and 4 and 5. Okay, so the other point that I need to make here too is that the market, in Elliott terms, this would be the best wave to trade coming up here. This will be the strongest here. It will be the third of the third, and we can look for the third as well, the third of the third of the third, and it will be the most powerful point in the actual trend itself. Okay, so we do need to do a little bit of work in here, and that's what I wanted to do today, because this will reflect back in our short trades that we're taking on with the New Zealand US dollar and the Aussie US dollar. So I just want to cut through into the 4-hour chart first. And this is what we're looking at here. So wave 2 of minor degree here, up for wave 1 of minute degree. We're looking for an A and a B and a C from minute degree 2 here, and then looking to move up from that point there. So a long trade here would create a short trade in the Aussie dollar, New Zealand dollar. So the question is that this wave 1 is fine. We were looking for an A wave. The A wave is fine. The B wave is a little bit tricky here. I do need to explain something here, because we used the video to explore possibilities here. So it is possible, and we'll come up with a strategy to solve this problem, but I do need to present it. It's possible that this is the A wave here, a B wave here, and then the C wave is still yet to come down here as 5 waves. I don't think it's the case, but it's possible. Now, this A to B here can be an A wave to here, a B wave to here, and then a C wave to here. So this C wave up here will be 5 waves. So that makes it a little bit tricky, because, you know, if we had it as before here, such as here, this little move up here, wave 1 would also be 5 waves as well. So in both cases, it presents itself, yeah. So it can be, you know, if we had a nice C wave coming down here, let's just go into the 2-hour chart now. You know, if we had a really nice wave C coming down through here in 5 waves, and I can count 5 waves in here, I can squeeze it in, but I don't like to do that. I like to be very clear about things. So as I mentioned, it's possible to have wave B over here, so that would be an A wave to here, B wave to here, C wave to here, and then we'd be looking for 5 waves down to this point here. Otherwise, the 5 waves that we get up here, which we'll look at in a moment, we would be looking at an A and a B and a C wave, and then moving up from there. So I'm going to go into the 15-minute chart now, and we're going to sort of resolve this. I do think that we're on the right track, you know, but that's only a bit of a guess at that stage, you know, a good guess, but not confirmed as yet. So on the 15-minute chart here, okay, so I'll just get this, squash it up, and so we can see sort of where we are a little bit. Now from wave B up here, you know, I can pull in 5 waves from here, and like I said, it fits, but it's just a little bit. I would rather see it a clearer structure. So it does leave us at a weak spot. But the way that I wanted to resolve it was this way here. Remembering that the move up here in both cases as wave B. This would be a wave C of B here. So wave 1 here and the other alternative count for it to come down will be both the same. There'll be 5 waves. We've got wave 1 and 2 here so far. We've got a nice third wave coming in, and the third wave is always the strongest, and we've got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 in there. We'll have wave 4 pulling back to the wave 4 of 1 lesser degree, or roughly there. And then wave 5 up. Wave 5 should be roughly the same length as wave 1. So we're looking up into this sort of area here. A 50-60% retracement level would be into this area here, just below 9.6. And then we can move up from there. So if what we need to see in this move coming back down here is we need to see this as an A and a B and a C wave. So it'll be a 5-3-5 structure. It should be short and swift and clean. And if that's the case, then I think that once we've got this high here and this high here, we just draw a line in the sand through those two, and we basically go long from there because they won't be breached. If it's going to be a bear market, then this is going to continue down here in 5 waves down into the 9.5 and then move up from there. So I think we're on the right track with 5 waves up here. So the to get confirmation on this, we need to see this 3-wave price action here. And you won't know it's 3 waves when you're at this point here. There'll be 5 waves in this little C wave here, and you could go in buy here. But it's best if this is breached over here. Okay, and then that would basically give us 5 waves up here. There will be 3 waves back again, and then it will move off there quite strongly. So that's what we're looking for. That's how we'll confirm it. That's how you'll know, and you will need to apply your money management skills in this trend up here. So less is more, and look to build on the levels. And if you know the levels, well, then you know 9.6 is the closest largest number. Then there would be 10, 20, and 30. So we know that with 30, which is the top of subgroup 1, we know that if support is found on subgroup 1, we know that the market order flow will be leaving the 9.6 at that stage. So a tested support on 9.3 is a perfect place to add another position, as is tested support on 50 here. Okay, and then you can just build up from there. So tested support on 9.6, you can do that. You can even go on anything under the 3 is at risk, really. Yeah, that's the way you build in. So anyway, it's enough about that. But that's important because this little 5 waves up that we're seeing here, we're seeing that on the downside in the Australian dollar and New Zealand dollar. So starting with the Australian dollar, we had been looking, just go to the daily chart, we had been looking at wave 3 here, an A and a B and a C for wave 4 here, and then we're looking for 5 waves down, so down into the medium level here, 65, and probably beyond that as well. Maybe it will poke down into 63 or 62. 62 is a great number. We call that the golden mean or the golden ratio in geometry terms, as 618, so that will play a part in there. So at this stage we've been looking down at wave 1 here, an A and a B and a C for wave 2, and then down for 1, then back for wave 2. So we were looking to short it, basically, you know, we've been discussing it around these areas here, and looking for further downside. So I think that you need to take a longer term view of this position. You know, we're looking for a trend to trade, so scalping something completely different, but you know, you really need to work out how you can get from, you know, one end of the trend to the other in terms of adding positions. And, you know, we all tend to put in more than we should. So if you can get over that and put in less, then it bears for a safer trade, and it frees up money to do other things as well, to, you know, hedge those bets. So just cutting into the 2-hour chart from here, if that's alrighty. So we've got wave 2 up here, and then we've got wave 1 here, and we've been working through this as an A and a B and a C, and we've been discussing that in other terms as well, but it still left us at the 50-60% retracement level at 75 here, looking for a short trade. And yeah, so we can call that top in play now, in place. So we can remove this here, And in this case here, if I can just remove this here, basically what we're looking for here, the same as the US dollar, we've got wave 1 and 2 and be roughly wave 3 here, just sort of bear with me a bit, wave 5 coming in. So we're looking for 5 waves down, and then we'll be looking for 3 waves up to a 61.8% retracement level and then down. So the safest trade will be through here. If you're short already, that's not a problem, we'll talk about that. But 5 waves down here will give you confirmation that there will be another 5. Okay, so let's go into the 15-minute chart here. So there's a few things that we can discuss here to squash this back up a little bit. So from the wave 2 high up here, last time we spoke, which is not yesterday, the day before, we were looking for, had wave 3 here, we're looking for wave 4. Obviously, excuse me, drop back a bit. But that's it there. And then we've got 5 waves up here to make 5, 5, C of 2. So what I was looking for here, you may be short already, okay? And that's fine. If that's the case, then you need to put the stop up here. You need to keep it out of the way, basically. As we've seen in the US dollar, and I've got it labeled a little bit differently, of a different, same labeling, just different degree of structure. So don't worry about that too much. But wave 1, wave 2, we're looking down for wave 3 here. We're looking wave 4 to pull back as a 38.2 retracement level of wave 2 down to wave 3, and then down to wave 5 here, which will make wave 1, okay? So this 5 waves here, once we've got that, what that will do, that will also 5 waves here. We've only got 3 so far, so that could be bullish corrective, okay? But if we get the 5 waves here, then we'll get the ABC correction pulling back to the 61.8%, roughly to the 75 here as a retest, and then fading from that point. So we can also, so this structure here is an A and a B and a C will be 5 waves, 3 waves, and 5 waves, okay? So you should be able to nail it down pretty well. And if you trade, much smaller than you should be trading, then you can pretty much just focus on the waves and put really small bets on, so you don't have to sort of, worry about them and let that negative energy of fear sort of override your analysis. So the other short here, of course, is always quite nice and simple to do. Here is this one here, just with a line straight through it here. Once we got those 2 in place, that low and that low, once they're in place, then it makes this one easier. But we also know too that when a market comes through this trend line here, it's going to come back up through it, it's going to go down through it, it's going to do that, and then it's going to go down. Sometimes it will actually give it a second retest, so make sure you don't get caught out on your stop there. That's as much as it will do. But you should be able to track these 5 waves down, look for an ABC back, but it'll do something like that here. So I'm just going to save that so we don't have to go back over that. But okay, so that's really it for that. And the next market that I want to look at is the New Zealand market. So for the New Zealand market, I'm just going to look at it at the 2-hour chart because it's exactly the same as the Australian market, and we were also putting this in as a top here, down for 1, an A and a B and a C wave here, and wave 2 here. We drew this line through here in case it got breached down through here. The other line we put through here, and looking to short it here. So if you're short already, then keep the stop out of the way. Now I've got it at the top there. You can bring it down to the next point there. So in this instance as well, we are looking for 5 waves down here. And once we get the 5 waves, then we can confirm that we're going to get another 5 over here. So that's the beauty of Elliott. Now, currently down here, we only have 3 waves like the Australian dollar. However, you can just allow it to play out. It's, we're going for the long haul to the downside here. So it's not even worth sort of selling here unless you want to get out at 71 or thereabout, 71.30, because we still got to handle this ABC correction coming across here. And once again, there's another, that can be another short there as well. So let me just get these drawing tools functioning. So we can look at it like this too. We can look for that short across, across these two lows here, the low here and the second low, and put a line through there and short it there, and that's fine too. So that can be done in that way as well. Just save that one, and let's look at a few of the others now. Okay, the first one I want to have a look at is the Euro Aussie, and yes, we understand that the euro and the pound are bleeding pretty bad, but we're still looking for, now that we're seeing a possible change in trend for the US dollar index, but that needs to be confirmed. But once that is confirmed, then we can look at this here, because we were expecting a low to be in place around where it is at the moment, and then looking for support on the 1.5 area here. Now, obviously we're not seeing any sort of strength coming into this particular market at this stage, but we need to basically just stay with the wave count here, and the wave count is down to the A wave, the B wave here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for wave 1, back for wave 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 for the third wave, the fourth wave, and the fifth wave here. This is a bit ugly to count here, so I haven't actually pulled it apart, and I wasn't that concerned about it. I know that we're down here, either here or here, probably here now, but it didn't really matter, because we're waiting for to see if this market can get back up and find support on this particular level here. If that is the case, then we can go along from there. But yeah, that's what we've sort of been waiting for, and I haven't really bothered about it, because we've got more opportunity in the shorting the Australian dollar and the New Zealand dollar at this stage, and the pound is the same as well here in terms of the pound Aussie. So we're waiting for a low to come in place, so we're looking for 5 waves within this structure here, so it's not far off, but I just haven't been interested in it at this particular stage here. So a little bit further to go down in that one. And also the euro, this one here, sorry. Just go back to the daily chart here for a moment. Yes, in a bit of a nutshell, we're looking for the A wave to here. All of this is a triangle for a B wave here, and then 5 waves down for the C wave to finish here. So this is also the 61.8% retracement level here as well. And we also have to be careful of that, this particular price point here. This is the closest, largest number. So even though we're at the 61.8% mark, it's possible for it to be pulled down even further. But our job is to count 5 waves from the top down into this area through here. So if that once we can confirm that turn on the US dollar index, then we can start to confirm turns on these euro crosses with the Euro Aussie and Euro New Zealand and so on. But until we confirm or not confirm the US dollar index thing, which will take a session or two, then we can't really confirm any of these lows yet. And as I mentioned, bringing these into the 2-hour chart, it is possible that this is the low, okay? But I don't have any evidence to back that up at the moment. There's also the possibility that this can just be an A and a B and a C for a wave 4, and then one more move down to wave 5. So I need to investigate that further. But as it stands, I really just want to confirm the turn in the US dollar index, because all the trades pivot off that. It's as simple as that, and that will take a session to do. And that should also be in line with the confirming the indices as well, the S&P 500, the ASX 200, the DAX, and so on and so on. So this week we should be able to confirm a turn or not, and if not, well, then we just simply trade in the other direction. But trading's all about the setup and the signal, and that's what we're looking for in the next day or so. Okay, cheers.